Hello, welcome back. So today I got a new toy. I got the Squid Industries, the Peacemaker RTA. So I'm gonna unpack this and let's get down to business. So there you go, the Peacemaker RTA. As I mentioned before, everything from Squid Industries has this really nice military vibe on it, and the Peacemaker is no exception. As you can see, you got take a little box and you have a lot of stuff inside. You got this little certification of authenticity, which is quite nice. I really like this. These are actually spacers. They're used in case you don't want to, scratch your mod, which is, I thought it's a really nice touch to it. Your bag of goodies. So it has the little screws, some extra O-rings, screwdriver, a plate for you to put your coil in. We're going to see in a bit. And it comes with 2 fused Clapton coils. We have one here. And then here on the inside you have this. You got the RTA, which is really nice, and it comes with an extra bubble tank, which is massive. Interestingly enough, with the Peacemaker RTA, this is the single coil, and it's big by itself. They do make a dual coil one, which is an absolute monstrosity. So I went with this one because the other one was just too big. If you look at it, coming from Squid Industries, as expected, it actually looks like the drum of a 6-shooter. It's really cool. So it's a nice touch. I love the way it has all this, the aluminum, and you can see the tank on the inside. So the way it operates is actually quite simple. You just unscrew the top and you put the liquid in. As you can see, it has quite some space. You can actually see the space for the coil. The airflow is a bit, usually stuck. It gets stuck in the beginning, but with usage it's actually not that bad. As you can see, it's quite a big airflow. And then you unscrew this bit, and now this is where it gets cool. So there you have it. Got the post for your single coil, so you just literally lift it in and you just slide the coil in, cut the ends, and there you go. A lot of space for the airflow. And this bit here is actually what attaches and screws and attaches the tank to the base of it. Now, one of the good things is, if you actually, because this is actually really well made, if I put the top in and if I just screw it, let's say for example you want to change your coil or cotton, if you can actually do it upside down and you take it, you don't even lose the liquid, because these O-rings are actually really good sealants. So it's interesting. And you unscrew it, and if you want to take it out, you literally just push it in, and there you go. And then you can use the bubble tank, which is the same principle. So there you go. Just slide it in, and then you put the top back in, and there you have it. It's just an absolute monstrosity. So I'm gonna go not with the acrylic tank, I'm gonna go with the standard one. I'm gonna put a coil on it and show you guys how this works. So quite simple, you just put another bag, you take your coil out, you need to get a set of pliers, and the way this works is really simple. It's really easy to put the coil in. You literally just lift, slide your coil in, get it like nicely adjusted on top of the airflow, and then you literally just screw the top. course, you're gonna have to do some adjustments afterwards, but this is it. Basic principle of it. So I'm just gonna make some small adjustments to get it all nice and tidy. I'm gonna use my Coil Master jig. I love doing it. You guys should definitely consider having a Coil Master. You can see, just slide in, and there you go. Give it another nudge, and then just what you have to cut it flush. Now, I saw some reviews saying that this is by far the best single coil RTA, and I have to admit it's really good. I've been using this one for quite some time. I would say maybe 2 weeks non-stop. The only downside I see from this is that you literally go through a lot of tanks in one day. So another thing that we need to really make sure about this RTA is that because this bit here from the let's call it windpipe chimney goes really close here, you need to make sure that these bits of the coil are not protruding out, because otherwise it will short circuit, and you don't want that. So a little good trick is you do the cuts, you unscrew a little bit, and then you just pull it out a little bit on the inside. Or what you can do is you can actually, once we get a little bit closer, screw it and then cut, because we want the coil to be right in the middle here of the air vents, so you can get a real nice airflow on it. So let me just do these final adjustments. Now we unscrew it, adjust it a little bit back in, screw it back again, give it a little twist, make sure that everything is nicely aligned, centered with this airflow. It's not perfect, but it will work. And now we're gonna prime it, and you know, speaking of Squid Industries, why not? And this just goes hand in hand with the double barrel. It's just perfect. As you can see, it's actually the same diameter here as well. So once you put it in, it's just perfect. Look at that. So I'm going to unscrew this first. As a rule of thumb, keep it safe, guys. Always use your ohms reader, just so you know, because I'm doing this, I'm a big advocate of regulated mods, but you guys might try it with an unregulated mod. So there you go, 0.24, and now let's put it in here, give it a couple of test fires just to see how it goes. This is the downside of the double barrel if you want to reduce the wattage to prime your coils. It just takes a little bit for things like cracking up a volt. Then you get your ceramic tweezers and you do a couple of pulse fires just until this gets really nice. You want to see the red coming in from the middle, as we've mentioned on previous videos. So basically no adjustments needed. This is just, these coils are just absolutely amazing. And there you go. Now let it cool down for a couple of seconds. Put some cotton on it, and I am going to be using one of my all-time favorites, Cotton Bacon Prime. I advise everyone to have a little bit of this. It's just really good. And when it comes down to wicking this beast of an RTA, it's an interesting aspect. It's quite forgiving for an RTA. Usually all of them have the like sweet spots and stuff, but this one is actually quite forgiving. So if we put it on here, just so you can have a better view and a little bit more of a flat surface. You can see you have the wells here, so the cotton will be coming out of this area and it'll soak up from the tank. So you literally just grab your coil, your cotton, just rotate it. I just like to make it nice and clean. Get your scissors. Always like to cut the end of it, just makes it easier. And you just slide it back in. If it gets stuck down the middle, usually what I do is just grab the tweezers and just pull it a little bit. So the idea is to get it tight, but not too tight. So give a couple of tugs here and there, and just give it a little cut. And now what I usually like to do, if you've seen on my previous videos, I like to fluff it out. This just increases its absorbance rate and stops it from burning the cotton out, because if the cotton is too compact, it sucks up the liquid on a slower rate, and if it doesn't soak up the liquid properly, it starts burning in the middle and you don't have a really good, enjoyable vaping experience. So I'm gonna do this quite quickly. I'm not gonna be perfect because otherwise this video would be too long. And there you go. Just put it back in the wells. And now what I like to do is put some e-liquid on it. I'm going with the Mangabees it's Stop Monkeys Mangabees. It's really good, so just let it soak up a little bit. Don't go too overboard on it, it's just so it gets ready. Now we're basically ready. So I'm just gonna put the tank in. Of course, upside down is never a good idea. And then there you go. So I'm just gonna take this off here. Just screw it all the way down. Alright. Good to go. And then put it in our mod. Now this is the moment of truth, because we just attached the chimney onto it. It's gonna see if it's going to it's gonna fire properly. So if you have a regulated mod and if you didn't cut the coil properly, this is where you'd give you that error message saying, oh, it's either low resistance or short circuiting or similar. Okay, so let's get this airflow open. As I said, it's a little bit stiff in the beginning. I love having it airflow open right at the beginning. So let's just a lot of liquid on this. Let it soak up for a couple of seconds or minutes. And I'll see how much it's gonna leak. As you can see, just perfect, no leakage. Alright, now let's give it a shot now. Alright, so there you have it. the Squid Industries Peacemaker RTA on top of a Squid Industries double barrel. It just looks amazing. It's like a shotgun with a revolver drum. It's really nice. So let's see how this goes. So as a reminder, the coil is at 0.27 ohms and I'm going to be shooting this off full open airflow, 70 watts. There you go. Wish me luck. I mean, look at that cloud, and the flavor is absolutely amazing. Well, I might be biased because I really love the Mango Bees from 12 Monkeys, but this was a really nice cloud, 70 watt cloud. So let's go a little bit crazy. Let's go 80 watts and see if I'm not gonna cough my lungs out. Just absolutely amazing. This is by far my favorite RTA. It's easy to install with that sliding up and down posts. There's no finickiness with like screws and everything else. Just literally lift the top, slide your coil in, get it down, screw it, cut it, and that's it. And it doesn't leak. I've never had a single leakage with this. It's just absolutely perfect. Now, it's not cheap though. The single the single coil RTA Peacemaker, I think it cost me roughly around 48 pounds, so that's roughly like $50, and the double barrel I got it for 70 pounds, which would be like maybe what, $80. It's just because it's difficult to get them in the United Kingdom, but just look at this, it's just nice. So there you go, for an expensive kit. So this is all 120 something, a little bit bad at maps. It's definitely an amazing choice, and just look how flush it is. It's like, I'm not sure if you guys can see it properly, but it's just good. So there you have it. I completely recommend try and get some Squid Industries. I'll see if I can get some other stuff from Squid Industries to review, because I'm really digging all their products. And there you go. See you all next week. Happy vaping!